Every year, 63,500 children report being sexually abused. That's an average of 1,250 cases for every state in the United States. 1 out of every 4 girls will be sexually abused before they reach the age of 18. 1 out of every 5 boys will be sexually abused before they reach the age of 18. There are 70 million victims living and working in our communities. There is a 25% chance that you have been the victim of sexual abuse as a child.
Hi everyone, my name is Simon, and this is my friend Steffi. We want to introduce you to an organization that is very important for the safety of kids everywhere, and it's headquartered right here in Virginia Beach.
Stop Abuse is a tax-exempt organization powered by the Spectrum Puppets. The founder, Regina Marshire, started on this journey over a quarter of a century ago.
Simon, I remember when you came to my class when I was in the 1st grade. You taught me and all my friends how to protect ourselves from abuse.
Now repeat after me. Hey.
Hey.
No, say it like you mean it.
Hey.
That's better. Now try this. This is my body.
This is my body.
No, this is my body.
This is my body.
That is your body.
That is your body.
Leave my body alone.
Leave my body alone.
You taught us to never let anyone touch us in any way that we didn't want them to. And if they did, who to tell?
Hey, this is my body, that is your body, leave my body alone. Hey, this is my body, that is your body, leave my body alone. And you know, over 5 years of research went into creating our show. Simon says, just tell. Get out of my space. You can let me be. 'Cause hey, this is my body, that is your body, leave my body alone. And we've won a lot of awards, even from the FBI, and even from President Obama himself. Thousands of cases of abuse have been prevented, and over 150 abusers are in prison. And it's the direct result of this program.
The best thing that the community can do to try and address this problem is address it before it begins. The law enforcement community is reactive to a large degree. We go out and react to problems once we become aware of them. It's a pleasure for us to get involved at the front end to try and prevent victims from becoming victims, because once they're a victim, you can never restore them to where they were originally. And so by preventing these crimes from taking place and by supporting organizations like this, you're doing the community such a great service that it's incredible.
We need to get public understanding and awareness of this problem, how massive it is in terms of the numbers, and how massive it is in terms of the psychological and emotional destruction to the children and to the adults they grow up to be. In most cases, the perpetrator of this abuse is someone very close to the child. Blood is thicker than water. In this case, the legal system is the water, and the blood is obviously the family member. So the child is often either told directly or it's implied that if you turn in Grandpa, for example, it'll ruin everybody's life, including yours, and why would you want to do that to Grandpa, who you really love so much? Because of that message, whether verbalized or tacit, the child then feels like they've done a wrong thing, that they should keep this terrible secret so nobody will know.
For me to incarcerate somebody in this jail for a year is about $23,000 a year. It's about a little more than $62 a day. Now that's for the average offender. When I bring a sexual predator in here, I've got to put him in protective custody because the other offenders don't like to be around him. And so that requires more resources to put him in protective custody. There are high suicide risks. They require more deputies to watch them, and so my cost for watching them, and my cost is actually the citizens' cost. I've met with victims, and I know victims, and the damage done to the victims can't possibly be measured in dollars. And so the savings that you realize not only are here in the jail, but from not having to incarcerate these people, but the damage that you're preventing the victims from having to go through, is unbelievable. There's always financial support that volunteer groups could utilize, and a dollar spent in prevention is worth many dollars that I've spent in incarcerating these people at the opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, the value of Simon and the Spectrum Puppets is they put on a show that is non-threatening. It's sort of enjoyable. It's fun. It approaches a subject where it helps the children feel that if this experience has happened to them, it's not something they should be ashamed of. That Simon says it's okay to come forward and express what's happened to you or explain what's happened to you.
The show, Simon Says Just Tell, really works. You know, Simon, you are like that inner voice that gives us all the courage to tell someone.
I was sexually molested by a family member for about a year of my life. And emotionally, it was really hard, and I didn't know that it was wrong. And I didn't know that it was a bad thing that was going on. I went with it because you don't realize that what's happening to you isn't right and that something should be done about it.
I was totally trapped in that house when he was there. I could not get out of his grip. I mean, I would try to run out of the room while he turned his back on me, and I would run out. And I didn't care if I ran out of that house naked to tell someone, but I couldn't get out. He always grabbed me, and he would just keep on torturing me.
I went to school, and there was a program that they were showing that day, and it was about a young girl, a little girl, who was being sexually molested, like I was, by a family member. And I looked at that girl, and I said, that's me. This is happening to me. And I realized in my heart that it was wrong, and that I needed to do something about it. I needed to tell somebody, and it taught you that. It taught you that you need to tell somebody what's happening. You need to notify somebody, and that it was wrong, and that it wasn't your fault, and you weren't the only one.
So this is important, and we're doing all we can do to raise awareness and educate and empower our kids. Our big event to do just that is Fundango Festival. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible. I can hardly wait. Mark your calendar for Saturday, March the 29th, 2014 at Virginia Beach Sportsplex. And join us for the Olympic experience. That's right. There will be entertainment and activities for the entire family, including sports clinics and participation by Olympic and world-class athletes and coaches.
Yes, Simon. The Fundango Festival is the #1 family festival in Virginia Beach, and we'll have lots of friends joining us, including Olympic athletes like Latasha Clark, Beth Anders, and Jan Chombley, and media friends like Stephanie Harris and Andrea Leah, and lots of other good friends too.
This is going to be an inspirational day for everyone, and all proceeds benefit Stop Abuse Prevention and Education programs. You can donate to Stop Abuse directly or become a sponsor for the 11th Fundango Festival. Just ask our friends at Stop Abuse or go to our websites at www.stopabuse.com or www.kidsfundangofestival.com. And I don't mind telling you this, but we need all the help we can get to keep our children safe and sound. Come on, we can do it. Together, we can help save a whole generation